Hey guys, how is everyone doing?
If you're new here, hi, my name is Onyeka, and if you're returning, thank you very much for returning.
The 11th of December made it 1 year since I moved into Canada.
But for those of you that don't know, I promised you guys I was going to do like a 1 year appreciation video, letting you guys know things I learned in my 1 year in Canada.
Without further ado,
Let's just head right into the video.
so I'm currently on my way to church now. So one of the most important thing I learned since I moved to Canada, and this is not a new thing. It's not a new thing to me. It's not a new thing to some of us. And I know it might sound cliche, but it's putting God first. Prior to me coming here, I just told God that God should take control. He should lead me, like go before me. He should raise like destiny helpers for me before I come here. And God has been so faithful to me. And like most decisions I've made, I always tell God to like help me in all those decisions. And since I came here, from settling down to getting a job to meeting people to my performance at school, it's been awesome. I would just say just put God first in any activity you're doing, any decisions you want to make, because like God just has to go before you. Because if you feel you can do it alone, you can't do it alone. My nose is, I'm already having a red nose because this cold is hitting. If you feel you can do this alone, you can't do it alone. God has to just be the foundation of whatever you're doing. So put God first and just watch how everything is gonna fall in place for you. That is like the first and most important thing I've learned. It has helped me. God has been too good to me. God has been good and kind to me. I can't overemphasize or say how He has blessed me. So put God first in everything. So another important thing I learned coming into Canada was the importance of setting appointments. Now, in as much as I'm someone that actually loves setting appointments, especially when I have like activities for the day, I just love planning. But coming here, I realized that every single thing, like everything you have to do, you actually have to set appointment for it. If you want to go to the salon, you have to book an appointment. Most restaurants here too, they work by appointments. Not like you can't walk in to the restaurant and you won't be served that, but some of them actually prefer when you book an appointment before coming in. Even lecturers, your professors in school, they prefer you to book an appointment before you see them or before you walk into their offices. And this has helped me a great deal because it has helped me to structure my life in such a very good way. So I don't just wake up in the morning and just go as the day, just go with the flow. It just helps me to pay more attention to details and to be more meticulous, especially with my activities, not just my school activities but my life in general. I noticed when I came into Canada was the fact that people were being called by their first name. You know, when in Nigeria, where you say an elderly person and you have to say like Mrs. So and so or Miss so and so, Mr. so and so. I'm not saying that like that's the way we understood respect and that was the ideal thing to do, right? So coming here, apart from like the professors in school, like you literally can call an elderly person by her first name. So like where I work, you literally before you, like if you want to address someone, so for instance, let me say someone's name is Melba, or let me say the person's name is Catherine. So you can just say, Catherine, where are you going? Or you can just be like, Blessing, where are you going? Like this is someone that is over like 90 years old. And in my head, when I first heard it, I was like, I didn't want to even get used to it first of all, because I didn't want to actually get used to it because I cannot go back to Nigeria and call my father by his name. I'll just say, let me just say, John, come here. Do I want to receive slap? So that was like the very first thing that was a shock to me. Like you literally call people by their first name. But in my class, like if someone, like especially the lecturers, like the professor, we called him like Professor so and so, Professor so and so. Apart from that, like you address everybody by their first name, and that was like really, really shocking. Like that was shocking to me.
I learned in my 1 year in Canada was that there was always room for improvement. Now coming here, I'm not going to say that I knew everything, but I found out that there's sometimes when I write essays or I write like projects in school, and I'll be like, am I the one that wrote this? Like Canada shaped me in a way that my communication skills, because they are so big on communication. By communication, I mean your body language, your tone, the way you talk to people, and all of that. I improved greatly in my communication skills. Also in my business acumen, now I'm always thinking about like the next thing to do. It will make you want to be very entrepreneurial, because no one wants to come here and be like broke or be like a burden to your parents back in Nigeria. So I improved greatly in so many other aspects of my life, and of which communication and writing. My writing too also improved a great deal, and I am so happy for that.
Now, something else I noticed coming here to Canada was the importance of mental health. I know everybody talks about mental health, and mental health awareness is becoming rampant, especially in Nigeria. But it's not, I don't think they take it as seriously as they take it here in Canada. Now, I can remember a time in school where I was going through it because of due to the school stress and trying to just have a proper work-life balance, and I was actually burnt out. So I had to reach to the mental health department of my school, and I told them, this is what I'm going through, and the response was so swift. I had to book an appointment with them, and on the day I was scheduled, I spoke to the mental health therapist, or the person in charge of that department, and the way she took my matter seriously was like someone that you can see that, oh, this girl's case is very important. She asked me, and she told me how whatever I'm going to tell her was actually very private, and how she's keeping it confidential. So she related with me well, told me to write down all the things that I was going through and whatever was stressing me out. So I wrote them down, and she actually reached out to my professor too and told him to extend my assignment due dates, because I told her I wasn't able to do my assignment. So like it was just so nice the way they took up the matter, because coming from Nigeria, I didn't really take this kind of situation important like that. Also, emphasizing on talking about mental health, I'll also be emphasizing on the importance of having a proper work-life balance. Like coming here, you can be so caught up with work and school and everything. Like I know of a girl that was working like 24/7. I mean Monday to Fridays, and there was a time I had to call the ambulance for her because she was burnt out and she became so unconscious. So it's very important also to have a proper work-life balance for your mental health to be on check. The mentality in Nigeria where you'll be talking to somebody and the person is like, do you know who I am? Do you know where I'm coming from? All those kind of things. Bruh, there is nothing like, do you know who I am? Everybody is equal. How will I explain it? Because although you know that there are all these elite people, there are people like the elite Canadians, those ones with the money and all of that, but upon still, like everybody just seems to be equal, because someone that you feel you're looking down on that is probably doing a cleaning work might even be earning more than somebody that's even working in a bank, or somebody that is working in like a big office where you put your suit and tie and all of that. Like there is nothing like, do you know who I am? Everybody literally respects each other. Coming from Nigeria, where you can see the hierarchy is so obvious, where you can see the difference between a rich person and a poor person, but here you can see it kind of, but it's not so obvious, because even that person you feel is poor, if the person wants to make more money, the person can just double his household or just do something, and before you know it, it's literally on the same level as the person that is very rich. So there's nothing like that mentality of, do you know who I am, or do you know where I'm coming from, do you know who my father is, do you know my generation, do you know all those things. It doesn't work here. Like work. So I like it, the fact that everyone is equal here and everybody can just put in the work and you will achieve like success in whatever field you find yourself in. And I found that so cool, like really, really cool. One last thing I learned also in my stay in Canada was the importance of vacation, like just taking a rest, taking time off, because everyone works so hard that I noticed that they don't take their vacations for granted. Even if it's just like 2 weeks in the summer or any period you have, you just go on vacation and just relax, because this life is so precious that you shouldn't joke with your health. Take time, relax, and just make every day count.